Hey guys, welcome to the Shot Clock. We're going off the court right now. You're still Ben Mankiewicz, right?
I is.
I am still Dave Rubin, and we've got a couple of vines for you from Odell Beckham Jr. And this guy can dunk. He is 6 feet, but he can dunk. Let's watch some videotape.
Man, shout out my dog LeBron. We just out here on the court hooping, chilling. Wow.
Is the money called?
Go.
And Dave, that was courtesy of Instagram and Odell Beckham Jr.'s Instagram, not Vine.
I said Vine. Sorry, I'm old school. I know Instagram doing the video. Now I retract and replace.
I just want to point out, I believe that he brought the left hand over on that last dunk.
It's sort of hard to tell.
Because it's so fast, but he did reorient himself.
What do you make of the backpack? That's the interesting part of this whole thing.
Backpack
The
and
dunking
the phone
with
at
the
the beginning.
backpack.
Yeah. Look, he's a great athlete. By the way, how much do you love that? Have you seen, this is why you wonder about the value of advertising. I don't know what insurance company it is where Jerry Rice is doing the interview with the kid.
Right.
And who's going to win, the tortoise or the hare? And the kid says, isn't it a rabbit? And he's like, it's a hare. What's the difference? And why are you arguing with the greatest receiver of all time? And the little kid goes, are you Odell Beckham Jr.? That's funny. It's good stuff. Jerry Rice can act.
Yeah.
He has like a dumbfounded look on his face, which I like. Look, he's a great athlete. I'm really not sort of surprised he can dunk, but I know the question that Jason wants us to answer is, could Odell Beckham play in the NBA? And the answer to that is easy.
Yeah, the answer is no.
No, absolutely not.
The answer is no. Thank you for posing the question. The answer is no. I'm actually more impressed. To me, the more impressive dunk out of this is just the standstill. I mean, to be able to just jump and dunk right there. But yeah, a 6-foot guy that can dunk. I mean, we got a couple of those guys in the NBA already. And
The question is more oriented towards two-sport athletes.
I got you, but I mean, like, we got to remember that, like, what it takes to be in the NBA is like the great 6-foot players in the NBA, they can't dunk.
Yeah.
Tony Parker perhaps could if they cleared the court for him, like he was properly warmed up. But
5 years ago, maybe.
But I mean, these guys distribute and move the ball around, and maybe Odell Beckham can. I mean, he's clearly a talented athlete, but basically you can't just because you can catch a football going 40 miles an hour with your fingertips, doesn't mean you can play in the NBA.
But this does make it all the more impressive that Spud Webb ever played in the NBA. The guy was 5'7".
Yeah, that's right.
5'7". He won a dunk contest, and he did dunk in games.
Muggsy Bogues. I mean, Muggsy Bogues didn't dunk.
Did Muggsy Bogues ever dunk?
No, goodness, no. But still, 5'3.5". I mean, amazing.
Really?
Yeah. What kind of team drafts Muggsy Bogues and Manute Bol in the same year? Like what? like that's a sideshow
team with a sense of humor.
Right. But not a team interested in moving on and winning basketball games.
Wait, hold on. What team? That was Washington? It had to be Washington, right? I don't remember Muggsy Bogues on Washington.
First round choice.
Wow, interesting.
So dumb.
Muggsy had a couple good years though in Charlotte.
He's fine. But it's a sideshow.
It's just
in the
funny.
NBA. It's funny. He's
There must have been great promo shots.
Yeah, again, but like you were like, hey, what about the winning?
Not everything's about winning. Sometimes it's about the good freak show.
Yeah, well, if Russell Wilson's going to play potentially for the Texas Rangers and was drafted by the Colorado Rockies about a year ago, why couldn't Odell Beckham Jr. with that kind of athleticism be trained to be a basketball player?
Basically because I don't know anyone whose primary interest was another sport going to play basketball, and baseball, which I think is in many ways the hardest thing to do, but the guys who've played baseball.
Right.
Bo Jackson constantly had been playing baseball. Russell Wilson, Seahawks quarterback, going to camp with the Rangers, although that feels a little like hey, we took you in the Rule 5 draft. This will be fun. You'll come to spring training for 2 weeks. It says you'll take grounders. You'll turn some double plays. Like, I don't know that Russell Wilson's going to bat second in a spring training game against the Yankees. That's what was most amazing to me about Michael Jordan. Baseball's impossible to pick up. You can't hit if you don't know how to hit. You can be, whether you're, Kevin Durant couldn't play baseball. Russell Westbrook couldn't suddenly play baseball.
Right.
Larry Bird wasn't going to. So Michael Jordan was such an otherworldly, not just athlete, but competitor and worker, that he still managed to hit 200 in Double-A, even though he struck out every third at bat. Like, that was amazing what Michael Jordan pulled off.
Yeah, and what people forget about that Jordan thing is he actually was getting better.
He was totally getting better.
He was really getting better. It's become like a joke now. But am I making this up? or did Dave Winfield, I might be making this up, did Dave Winfield get drafted by 3 sports?
I think Dave Winfield did. Dave Winfield went to the University of Minnesota, and I think was definitely drafted to play basketball.
Dave Winfield was drafted in 3 different sports.
By 4 different teams, right?
4 different teams.
Was drafted in the ABA also?
Sports. Yes.
Yeah, Dave Winfield, but you have to grow up playing baseball. You can't just suddenly go play baseball. And it's interesting that no football player has just gone and played basketball. There's some big guys who did it. Tony Gonzalez was a pretty good basketball player at Cal, and probably given what he did in the NBA, in the NFL, could have made it. He could have banged around in the NBA. He could have made a difference inside. I think it's fair to say we can all presume Tony Gonzalez would have gotten some NBA rebounds.
A couple.
I think he would have handled himself okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I mean, you'd imagine that a couple, like an NBA 2 guard, like a good athletic, 6'6" 2 guard or small forward, would be able to play wide receiver in the NFL. I could see that happening, and yet that doesn't. I guess they don't want to be crushed.
I'm talking myself out. I can't think of an example, but I mean, you look like. Are you telling me that there's no role in the NBA for Rob Gronkowski?
There seems somebody. The guy
I
could
mean,
set
I don't
a
know if
pick.
he's ever played ball at all, but if he had, you would imagine with that kind of freak athleticism, again, he's going to get some rebounds. It's going to be hard to score. It's going to be hard to get around him.
With those kind of dance moves, I believe it's called cheerleading. Also, could you guys name me the 2 other players to join Dave Winfield in being drafted by 3 professional sports teams or more?
By 3 professional sports
Both
teams.
were football players. I'll give you that hint.
Bo Jackson was not drafted in 3 sports, just 2, and I don't think Deion Sanders
One is from Fargo, North Dakota.
One is from Fargo, North Dakota.
Or was born in Fargo, North Dakota.
I need another piece of information.
All right. He went to Colorado for college.
He went to Colorado for college.
Now give me a last name.
And then after you give
We're
me a
talking
last
about-
name,
we're
hold
talking
on.
about-
After you give a last name, give me a first name.
And
So
then
we're
we'll
talking about Dave Logan, primarily for the Cleveland Browns.
Right, Dave
radio
Logan, yeah.
personality,
Yes,
and
yes.
Kansas City Chiefs tight end Mickey McCarty.
Yeah, I wasn't going to get any of those if we
TCU.
literally let us stay in the studio for the next week.
The 25th round of the 1968 baseball draft selected by the Cleveland
Yes,
Indians. You don't remember
of
the
course,
68
of
baseball
course.
draft?
No, I do remember now.
Unbelievable. It's the year before the Mets won.
Your favorite 2-sport athlete, let us know in the comments right down below. And don't forget to subscribe and like. And what else do kids do on this thing here?
And by the way, the answer to everyone for this should be Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson.
But feel free to say someone else and be incorrect.